More people are waking up to the idea that things are definitely not going too well, and we're only at the beginning phases. So I wanted to actually talk for a quick minute in reference to an article that was sent to me that I want to just chime in on a little bit, try to give some words of encouragement, because I know at this current moment everybody has either experienced some type of an adjustment or might know of somebody who's been directly impacted with this layoffs, this sweeping the nation. And then also, depending on how good things might be, your company might be on a hiring freeze, either one. But I came across an interesting article just highlighting more companies that during that artificial spike due to monetary policy decided to bring on a lot of people just because the whole goal was to, recover from the lockdown, get things operational. And so there was more hiring that was done than was needed, especially when rates were extremely low. As the rates go up, monetary conditions become a little tighter, discretionary spending is a lot less, the economy overall is contracting. At the same time, central banks are looking into withdrawal accommodation policies. It's definitely setting us up for a hell of a ride in the next couple of weeks and months. But article just talked about a lot of companies that I wasn't even familiar with. There have been a lot of tech startup companies over the last several years that did extremely well when there was a lot of stimulus in people's hands and it was being spent. But now that things are not as flowing as smoothly, there's been lots of layoffs. And so just to give you an idea of some of the companies, I had the article right in front of me, and I'll put it down below so guys can see it. But Arvana, 2,500 people laid off. We got another company, Reef, about 750 people laid off. We got GoPuff, more than 400 people laid off. We have Better, never even heard of that company, 4,000 people laid off. And of course, the CEO says bad investment, his fault, blame him. But yeah, he wasn't fired. Okay, we got Noom, 495 people laid off. So Peloton. Peloton, the exercise biking company, served its purpose during lockdowns, but now that everybody's out and about exercising, it was just doomed to fail. But those are just a handful of companies that just within the last quarter are experiencing a large amount of layoffs, and we haven't really began yet. And so as more people realize what the economic conditions are in the real world, regardless of all the figures they give us or whatnot, more people will be forced to make some tough decisions on how they actually spend whatever funds they do have, outside of all the numbers that we're being given as to how, savings are at an all-time low, credit card consumption or credit card swiping is all-time high, and all that other stuff. But I just wanted to check in for a minute and just, be of encouragement to a couple of people, just because I know right now, as I mentioned before, everybody might be going through some, adjusting, and some people might be doing absolutely fine. Somewhere in between there, you might know some people in between there that at this current moment might need a little bit of encouragement. And the best form of encouragement we ourselves can utilize, as well as be able to share with others, is just to remind people of the long-term perspective. And that has a lot to do with the fact that, for the most part, the way we've been conditioned in this country, given the reserve status we've had, is that life could always go on being good forever. Having the reserve currency, having access to easy credit, financing at the drop of a dime, that reality is coming to an end. And with that comes the need for new thinking, because ultimately, being in this great country here, we have been put in these bubbles, and these bubbles have been pretty much driven by consumption and the fact that and as long as you can consume, everything is going well. But the day that you can't consume at the pace that you normally are able to, that's when all hell breaks loose and people start to really panic and do things that they may not, do things they may regret in the future. So one of the biggest things I want to just share is that if we have been put inside these bubbles and all of a sudden a bubble bursts or the rug is pulled from underneath you and you're exposed to what real life might be for the majority of people on this planet, the best thing we all can do is to be extremely creative. Somehow, some way, figure out how to take the gifts we have, what we're used to, things we enjoy, and find new ways of engaging with people with those same exact things. And you'll be surprised at how many other people might have the same interest as you in the same subject matter or in the same skill, same craft, or whatever it might be, which gives you an opportunity to then step out onto your own and begin doing things that you would have never even imagined had things been normal and economic conditions were, smooth as they always had been prior to this current time frame here. Most people right now will be incentivized to do something different just by sheer necessity rather than the fact they want to. So with that alone, that's a great opportunity for some people to just have that push forward so that they can actually get some things done. And the next point I want to talk about is collaboration. Right now, we need interaction more than ever, just because prior to this, we were forced to be apart from one another. Therefore, mental health and all the things that came from being separated from family, friends, and loved ones, for those that actually did that, definitely weighed on a lot of people. And therefore, I'd assume there are still people out here who might follow that same model. And right now, there's never been a greater time for you to connect with and collaborate with like-minded individuals. So if the first thing is basically just stepping out, doing something you haven't done before out of sheer necessity, or the fact that you might have time now to do some things in the form of releasing your gift or sharing ideas or whatnot in the form of creating value for somebody else, the next thing you have to do, or the next thing I would encourage you to do, is to find people of like mind to collaborate with them. Help them help you and vice versa. That's typically how it goes. And that's how communities are formed. Once a community is formed, then opportunities to serve are right there in front of you. And head into this uncertain future, the best way to lay a foundation for yourself is to, of course, to serve some form of value. And one thing I'm realizing now on my end is that you can't do it by yourself. You need a community of like-minded individuals. You need to connect with people that's going in the same direction you're going in. So that's why I'm excited to, bring some projects or whatnot that is in my heart that I want to definitely introduce to you guys at some point as well. And the third thing and last thing I want to just share with you guys is education. Continuing to educate yourself, continuing to pour into yourself new information, new knowledge that further adds to your skill set. So if more people have more time now, you would think more people would want to take that time and pour it into themselves rather than trying to run back into the same rat race that they might be exiting out of or that might have been taken away from them. Take time to get some new information, because typically with new information, new doors open up as well as new opportunities in and of itself. And I know, speaking for myself, some of the best decisions I've made has come right after having learned something new, just because prior to I wasn't even thinking on that wavelength to head in that particular direction when it came to that. So anyway, I just wanted to try to just share some information. Based upon this information here, things are going to get very dark and gloomy, but they don't have to be, depending upon how you look at it. And of course, the biggest thing is not necessarily focusing on the bad news, but finding the good within that news and being of encouragement to other people, especially as more people out there start looking for answers. So anyway, thought I would take a minute, share my 2 cents. Please add to this. That was just 3 quick things that came to my mind. Put down in the description some more thoughts and ideas that people can use as a tool for their toolkit to get better in this decade as the world around us shifts, just because we're going to need each other more than ever. And I want to definitely make sure this channel is an opportunity for people to do that and connect. So anyway, hope you guys found some value in this. Hit the thumbs up if you're new, subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys later. Peace.